Hey class, this is part 7 of solving inequalities. We just talked about the exception to solving inequalities. The main exception is when you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the sign. We're going to go ahead and solve some examples that deals with that information. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. We have to remember our integer rules, okay? Our integer operations, when you multiply a negative times a negative, that's a positive. Negative times a positive is a negative. Positive times negative is a negative, and then a positive times positive is, of course, positive, right? So here's our first example of talking about our exception. The first one is negative 5x less than 15. Okay, negative 5x less than 15. We're going to go ahead and solve this, right? Solve this inequality and then draw our inequality solution, right? So remember, right here between number, in this case it's an integer, right? Negative 5. Remember, we talked about integers. Integer is all the negative whole numbers, 0, and all the positive whole numbers. This is a negative 5 times x. So the x is being multiplied by negative 5. What is the opposite of being multiplied by negative 5? Dividing by negative 5. Whatever you do to the left, you have to do to the right. So we're going to divide by negative 5. Now, what's a negative divided by a negative? Positive, right? Or again, a negative 5 divided by negative 5, anything divided by itself is 1. So we're going to cross those out. 1 times x, x. Now, when we're looking at our inequality symbol, did we multiply or divide by a negative? Yes, we did. We multiply and divide, or we actually divided by negative 5. Since we did that, we have to change our sign. We have to flip it, right? From less than to what? Greater than. Okay? From less than. If you do not change the sign, if you do not flip the sign, your answer is going to be wrong. Keep that in mind. What's a positive divided by a negative? Positive divided by a negative is a negative. So we're going to have a negative. 15 divided by 5, we got negative 3, right? So x is greater than negative 3. We got our solution to our inequality. Now we have to what? Can't forget, we have to do what? Graph. We have to graph. Where do we start? Negative 3. We start at negative 3. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do our numbers. This is negative 2, negative 1, 0, negative 4, negative 5, and negative 6. Okay, now open or close circle. Ask yourself, open or closed circle. We have a greater than symbol right there. Open, right? Open circle. Open circle on negative 3. Now, remember, just treat this like an arrow. Yes, we understand it, but treat it like an arrow. Pointing that way, shade that way. Boom, done. Shading that way forever, right? Again, you can talk about understanding. Negative 2 greater than negative 3. Yep. Is 0 greater than negative 3? Yes. Is 1 greater than negative 3? Yes. All the numbers that way. Is negative 3 greater than negative 3? No. Negative 3, if you plug it here, is not greater than, that's why it's open. That's why we do not include it. Okay? So this is the first example of our exception, which is when you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the sign. Okay? All right, make sure you have this written down. I'm about to erase it. We're going to move on. All right, here we go. Next example. Here we go. All right, we have negative x over 7. X over 7 greater than or equal to the number 4. Okay, now, here we go. We got a negative fraction. Now, remember, I've told you this before in class. With this negative sign, we could move this negative sign up here. We could move it right here, or we could keep it out here. But we can't have it in both of these or one in front. No, we got to have it either or. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this negative sign down here with the 7. So it's actually going to be x divided by negative 7. Okay? X divided by negative 7. Now, I gave it away. X is being divided by negative 7. Now, answer this. What is the opposite of dividing by negative 7? What's the opposite of dividing by negative 7? Multiplying by negative 7, right? So we're going to multiply this whole side by negative 7. And whatever you do to the left, you also have to do to the right. Okay, so negative 7 divided by negative 7. Remember, it's in the numerator. Cross them out and become 1, right? Negative 7 divided by negative 7, that's 1. 1 times x, x. Now, for an inequality symbol, did we multiply or divide by a negative? Yes, we did. And so greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal. Now, positive divided by negative, positive divided by negative, sad face, it's negative. 4 times 7, 28. So x is less than or equal to negative 28. Draw our number line solution. Notice how we're getting faster at these, right? Negative 28, negative 27, negative 26, negative 25. To the left is negative 29, negative 30, okay? Now, open or closed circle? That's what you got to ask yourself. Open or closed circle? Less than or equal? Less than or equal? Closed. Which way is it pointing? Left, shade this way. Negative 29 is less than or equal to negative 28. It sure is. Can we include negative 28? Is negative 28 less than or equal to negative 28? It sure is. Everything this way. This is our solution to our inequality. This is our number line solution. This is our graphed out solution. That is our examples of our solving inequalities. Okay? Thanks for watching.